guys, this is Age with Cards. We have Klein here. We got we're undefeated again, unfortunately.
Again.
Yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. What were you playing?
I played PK, level 3, do everything in deck again.
Cross out Designator deck. Okay.
Post Banlist.
Yeah,
This is indeed post Banlist and post Megaton. So
Let's go.
Technically new format. Shout out YouTube for doing the deck profile. Shout out Duels Academy, the best Patreon and Discord group. If you guys want to get better, sign up for Duels Academy.
They should start giving it to you for free. You
They
always
should, right? As much as I win and shout them out. Shout out your hobby place, the locals I play at, and I think that's it.
All right, let's see the spicy list.
3 Torrent Scales hasn't changed. It's the best PK card. I went still keep 2 boots, 2 cloaks, 1 gloves. There was times where I wanted the Stain Greaves PK card. It came up in these scenarios, but I don't know what I would cut for
That's
it.
one that summons from hand, right?
Yeah, so what it is, if you banish a PK card from grave, it summons from hand. And I don't know if it has another effect. It may, probably. Graph, Seer, and then we switched from Storm to Sangan.
That card's powerful.
This is just crazy. You search an Ash, you search a Droll, you search a Cycle Reader. It searches. It can search a follow-up. It does a lot.
Anything you wanted to and more.
Yeah,
Or Scarm just searches Tour Guide.
it's crazy. 3 Aqua Dolphins still as a normal summon. I think I'm going to cut this.
Really?
Yeah, like I want to cut my deck back down to 50. And this card always gets sided out going second. In like these scenarios, it's a good normal summon just to discard a card out of your hand, like a dead PK.
Would you ever side it for going first if you cut copies out?
I wouldn't want to side it because my side deck's pretty tight. And I don't think it's a side-worthy card in a 50-60 pile deck, where I'm not going to see it very often. And then that's another normal summon, 3 Tour Guide. I took my ultis out because I was missing an ulti and it looked bad, so now we have the alt art.
The Ulti art.
Ulti arts. As extenders, it's still 1 wielder, 2 tracker. I was going to bump this up to 2 and 2, but we got 2 e-tele now, so it doesn't make sense. Still, these are at 1. We got one of the boys back. We got Nessie at 2 now. It's time to get these back to 2. Make Yu-Gi-Oh fun again. 1 junk 4.
Why 1? Just roto target?
It's 1, it's a roto target. 2, you don't want to see too many of it, and it's okay. The card's okay. It's just a level 3 extender. And there's so many in the deck anyway. There's no reason to multiply it. I don't like this card very much.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I don't have a reason for it. I think it just sucks.
You were,
Like when you like normal tour guide, the chain block tour guide, like it's there.
You were earlier though saying how you felt like using interruption on tour guides kind of incorrect. You like save it for one of the extra deck
it's
choke points.
120% correct. Don't
so
hand
almost
trap
like
tour guide.
kind of stops you from being able to bait a Ash or Veiler or something.
Right. Like it's cool because it's a level 3 Darker when you normal summon it summons itself, but like other than that, like it doesn't really do much. I'd rather have like another extender. I don't really count this as an extender because you have to normal summon for this. Well, the rest of my extenders and starters,
like junk forward, it just puts itself.
I just put it. It just goes in the field. And then this was the new edition, 3D Frag Dragon. So if you don't know what this card does, you just discard a card to summon it. And it's a level 3 dart.
Does the other effect ever come up? The banish 3 of the
no,
same
I don't
name?
have 3 of the same name in any card except for like Torrent Scales.
And you're not trying to get rid of that?
Right. So a lot of times you get a dead PK card out of your hand and it just summons, so it's plus infinite. It does really well. That was like MVP.
Does it proc dangers? Is it discard or is it send?
Let's find out. Let's read it together. By sending. Nope, it is not proc the dangers. That's okay.
We have on camera the first time a Yu-Gi-Oh player's ever read a card.
It's true. And then the hand traps are still 3 Ash, 3 Phantasmic. Tri-Brigade's still relevant, and I think the Prank Kid deck's still relevant. So this card's crazy, and it just punishes all the fair decks, like I said in the last video, and then this is just the best generic hand trap.
Oh, so switch off a Sangan.
Yes.
Like big nanos.
We've covered that.
Big nanos. That does.
And then the last 2 cards, we still play Dragoon because it's legal. They didn't ban that card, so we're still going to play it. I went to the spells, 2 ready, 1 instant. I don't have a 3rd ready fusion, so...
Would you play 4 if you did?
Maybe, probably. Like the more I think about it. Or I might just keep it that way because this is once per turn and this is once per turn. So
if you're going to play 3, that's probably the optimal way. Do you play 2 targets though?
no, there was a scenario today where I had both these in my hand and it sucked. But you play 60 cards, so like it doesn't come up very often. Where
But
you
when it does, you kind of wish you did, but it
Yeah.
probably doesn't come up enough to justify the slot.
And the extra deck's already tight, and there's already changes I want to make. This card's at 2 now, and it probably shouldn't be, so you play 2 of it.
Shout out to Dave.
You played just the wielder and the other one
The
as
wielder and
targets,
the
right?
tracker, yeah. Yeah, shout out to David Hernandez, my round 2 opponent. He tallied him for game.
If by round 2 you mean round 2-0.
It was indeed a 2-0.
Yeah, you hate Dave, don't you?
Rhoda. Still 3 talents. This card is crazy. I don't care what anybody says. It's very good, this format. Your deck gets hand trapped at least twice, and then you rip the 3rd card out of your hand. And then it's hard
GG
for
no
me
re.
to beat. Yeah. 3 Droplet. I have the 3rd Ulti now.
Let's go.
This card's new. Cross out Designator. This card's very ignorant.
That card's the only thing that changed this format.
So there's so I only play Ash Phantasme, and I'm thinking about putting Nib in here because Nib's the only hand trap that really scares me. But like now, when you Droplet me, if you don't send a spell, I'm just gonna cross out negate it, and you wasted a Droplet.
Yeah, you keep your full
Congratulations.
board.
Yeah, you've officially lost the game.
What did you drop, or not Droplet, what did you cross out today? Like anything relevant get hit?
Ash Droplet. My round 1 opponent went to go Ash my Rusty in a simplified game state, and I was just like, nah, I got cross out. That game was over, and then somebody went to Droplet my Dragoon, and I was like, nah, I have cross out.
Let's go.
This card's ignorant. It should have never been printed. I hope it gets banned immediately.
But we're playing it till then.
Absolutely. We're playing every ignorant card possible. 3 Chalice still. This card is an auto win against Tri Brigade and just some rogue decks.
Is it common?
That is indeed common.
Making sure.
I'm poor.
Just making sure.
I'm very poor. It's alright. Call
Don't
back
even
this
play
card.
Ulti Tour Guides, peasant.
No, I know. Call back because that card's still legal. Red Eyes Fusion because this card's still legal. And then I cut Goes in match for Crossed Out Designator. And 60 cards, I don't think Goes in match is really worth it because I'm never going to see it. So I'd rather have cards that help me play and help me play through stuff than a Floodgate.
Wise words.
Are there any cards in the main you wish you had?
No.
Besides like the nib, maybe?
Like the nib would be good for cross out, so like that's the only thing I think I'm gonna change. I don't know what's gonna get cut for the nib, but no, I think the main deck's perfect. Phantasme is crazy. Like that's the only iffy card if Tri Brigade starts to see less
It seems
play,
cool
but-
in this deck in particular because it's a dark too. Like it contributes to the Bardiche play.
Right, and like so like people forget like it has the second target effect. I'm like I would make the Verte again like in my last video. They would imperm or Veil of Verte and I would just negate it and then the game was just over.
And you're pitching like a PK that gets
Yeah.
value and it's just extra
And
over.
you're searching a Fog Blade and yeah, the game's extra over. 60 cards, the last time it was like 50 something, I just bumped it up to 60, it just made sense.
Too many good cards to play.
Yeah, there's just too many. It's like a good stuff deck. Link Spider, Cherubini, IP. People like the Veil of this card, it doesn't do anything.
You lose the attack buff.
Yeah, sure. This card, one of these Red Eyes cards should have been gone, but in 2 of them we're going to continue to play it. Unicorn still for the IB play and sometimes for access code. Rusty, this card I think again should still be on the ban list. Access code. Sometimes I want this to be Boral Sword, it matters, but niche scenarios.
Is it because like why is that? Why
So
would
like
you
sometimes like you can't put enough for game where if I had Boral Sword I could.
Would it be harder to make the Boral Sword in those
No,
instances
I have
though?
because my whole deck just summons itself. And I can put 20 monsters in play easily. Flame Ghost for the Ready Fusion and Dragoon. 2 Break Sword. This is gonna go to Nightmare Cerberus. I'm gonna play 1 Break Sword, 1
Cerberus?
Yeah. So there's like a lot of times when you can force out the Revolt and Tri Brigade, and they have the Apo with nothing left. So then you make Cerberus, you're gonna pop the Sure draw a card, and also like there's times where like you had just PK stuck in your hands. So anytime you can like find a way to discard a PK out of your hand, it's very good. There was multiple times like where I bricked, and if I just had Cerberus to discard a card, I won. So I never made the second Break Sword ever.
Could you play like barricade board? Like do you need Cerberus for the monster pop?
Well, like,
Blocker's
so, like-
a dark if that matters for it.
Blocker is a dark, so it could matter, and it discards a card, but like it doesn't do anything past that. Where Cerberus
You're
takes a
not
card
getting
off the
actual
field.
value.
Yeah, you're not gaining value, and especially a lot of times where there's a lot of links that point down, and you're gonna draw a card on top of it. So we'll see. we'll test it out. Levier, I started making this card more.
Oh,
This
that's a
card's-
common.
That is indeed a common.
They're so expensive, I think.
Yeah, they're like $5. I caught Redoer for this card, Evil Swarm Nightmare. This card says Book of Moon. So the Dragon deck's starting to get really, really popular, and if they don't play their zones correctly, like if they just summon a dragon here or in the other extra monster zone, you can just book it, and it's usually enough. They have to really, really watch their zones with this card. And
Against Brigade too, it's really good.
yeah, so like
book the
you can't do it on the normal
Oh,
summon,
you
but like
can't.
so when they go Frigate the special, then you book that, and then
Yeah, then
it's
they're not
really,
playing.
really hard for them to play through that. Downer Zeus.
Is that the whole extra?
That is all 15 of my extra.
I was about to say 15, right?
No, it's 16. I'm cheating.
Yeah, I know what you gotta do.
3 nib on the side. It's like I said, it's probably gonna go to the name and the main in some shape,
At least
shape
one.
or form. At least one. I cut the Ghost Bell and the Barbar for time for 3 Lancia because I think the PK deck started to pick up space. This is really
Key
good.
deck.
This deck sucks. The PK deck's starting to pick up some popularity. This is actually really good against Dragon, and it's really good against Tri-Brigade. So
And VW.
that deck sucks.
Shout out, Dave.
That deck's a buy. Duster, Pankratops, Reboot,
Goodbye, back row.
Goodbye Back Row. There's 3 Droll there too. The Drytron deck didn't get touched from the ban list. I mean, you can say Eva the one mattered, but it did not.
A lot of lists already played one.
Yeah, like you weren't playing the deck correctly if you played 2, so you got to respect that matchup. So 3 Drolls there, this starts off the Singing, and then I still don't like back row, so 3 to it.
Damn.
Is there a reason you don't want like Lightning Storm or anything for
I don't
back row?
own that card.
Would you play it if you did
No,
over
this
there or no?
discard's a card.
Ah, so it fixes the hand. And
order.
Prank Kids might
Yeah.
still matter.
Yeah, I think that deck still matters. I didn't play today, so I guess I'll talk about my matches real quick. I played Crusadia round 1, 2-0, VW round 2, 2-0. Played Tri-Brigade 3 and 4, and then I played some fish deck, the
Shout out.
Trap the deck, round
The most
5.
totally awesome deck
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Oh, also note I didn't win a die roll today. I lost every single die roll.
Who needs them?
Who needs them?
We'll just go first
They don't
game two.
matter. Yep, don't matter.
Anything
That's
else
it.
to say?
Nope, that's it. Got my
Alright.
shout outs and we're good. Thank you
Thank
guys.
you. Adios.